What's up, Andy's leaders and all listeners? This is Travis, and I am so thankful you are here. Welcome to the Custard Campus podcast. We have a special episode today. Super excited about this one. We have Derek and David from Burleson, Texas. I was just at their store. Great looking store. These guys are crushing it, and so is their whole team. These guys have a bit of an obsession with loyalty. So they reached out and wanted to share their cheat codes. So cool. Guys, thank you so much. And I can't wait to jump into this. All right. First, gentlemen, tell me a little bit about yourselves. You know, how long you've been working here at Andy's. Why do you love working here? And David, when your time comes up, I heard you have an interesting way to present our mission. I'd love to hear that. All right, Derek, take us away, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Derek. I've been at the Burleson location now since it opened back in December of 24. I've been at Andy's since May of 2019, and I do plan on being here for quite a bit longer. So right now, our loyalty, we're sticking about 40%, which is a huge win for us. And that's, the cheat codes that we want to share with you guys to get there.
Awesome. All right, David. How about you?
Hello, I'm David. I started here in July of 2020. Started at the crew member position and then kind of worked my way up to assistant general manager. For the mission statement, I do have my own little spin I'd like to share with everyone. So I guess I'll give it a go. Serving our community and its people, preaching the gospel to the people in the steeple, creating an environment that promotes memories. Hello, my name is David. Can I take your order, please? Through our superior product and exceptional staff, running high numbers on our Andy's graph.
I love it. David, that is what I'm talking about. Man, that's our first tune on the podcast. Thank you so much, man. Guys, welcome to the podcast, and thank you for being here and doing this. We're excited. I know this can change lives. It can change our company when we really focus in on loyalty. So let's get into it. I can't wait to hear these cheat codes. Tell us how you have significantly grown loyalty enrollments at your store.
Yeah. So we actually started back when we first opened. We talked about before opening, we're going to make this a huge focus for us as it was in our last store that we came from. So we started around 20% or even less, new store, no returning customers out here. We shot for going from 20 all the way to 40% that we just hit this past week. We're actually at 41.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Yeah, Derek. And it was kind of a steady incline from when we started. And we were, focusing on it a bit. And then once we started that number to rise, we really honed in on it and realized how far we could really go with loyalty. And honestly, how simple it was to grow that number.
That's incredible. What specific tactics, maybe do you all have any scripts did you use? What's going on to get you there?
Well, we don't really have a script that we have for every single crew member to say. We want them to have their own. We don't want to sound like robots here. That's not appealing for anybody. Kind of have their own thing that they say. We talk about it before shift and in our go meetings. We talk about it when they're training for window, new store, everybody got trained there. And they kind of created their own thing that works for them, along the lines of downloading the app. You're going to get a free treat after your first visit, any of those kind of things. But we like to have them create their own for sure.
Both came over together to a new store environment. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Have you kind of seen or kind of tweaked this throughout that entire time together and with a couple different crews? What have you started? What have you stopped?
So we actually started a big thing when we were at our previous store. We were using the red cards that we use for the gift cards as rewards cards. And we started seeing a pretty big impact on our P&Ls for those. They're expensive. They're looking about 25 cents each. So we switched over to the app cards and started using those. It seemed like a slower process to get those enrollments just because you do have to persuade people to download the app on the card. But those are about 20 cents cheaper per card. So
wow.
Huge savings on that part. And we're able to actually pass those out to every single customer, even put them in the bags if they're to go, anything like that. That's a huge thing that we started doing is leaving behind those red cards.
And Travis, on top of that, what we also noticed with those red cards is a lot of people, they had them and they were swiping them, they were using them, but they couldn't redeem any of the points they saved up on those cards. And so instead of, showing them, how to register the card through the app, why not just take them straight to the app, right? And that's kind of where those paper app cards come in.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. And again, thinking through the customer journey, almost like you might not have the redemption factor right up front, but it's so much easier to get them straight to that app. That's great. Great cheat code there. Start ordering those cards, right? So teams that are listening, if you want to increase your loyalty, there's your cheat code, the first one of the day. Gentlemen, walk us through how your team promotes the loyalty program during a rush without slowing the service, because this is what we do. We do everything with quality and speed. And I know this is kind of the hindering factor sometimes when some GMs or people, they're like, oh, this is going to slow us down during our big rush. Walk us through that.
Yeah, of course. So first I'll start off with drive and running. They're kind of a team out there. If there's like a huge line during a rush, we don't want to spend too much time discussing loyalty. We'll ask if they're a part of our program. And if they're not, we'll have our runners send a message to our drive-through operator. And that kind of lets them know to discuss our loyalty program while our fountain operators are making treats, making sure everything's up to par. Our drive-through person can kind of discuss how our loyalty system works, what rewards are a part of it, and how to download that app. So really just kind of flows with the rush. Just working in that time to discuss it when the person talking to the customer isn't too busy.
Nice. What does that message and that communication look like during the shift? Are they communicating through technology, or is there a lot of communication running back in and out? What's that look like?
Usually, if our runner is using the tablet, we'll put on there a little message that says LC, and that's going to prompt our drive-through operator to give them one of those app cards and kind of discuss that with them. It's a little simpler on walk up. You have the time while the treats are being made, while you're cashing out the guests, to be able to discuss loyalty with them. You can even help them download the app right then and there to help them get started.
Man, that's cheat code too. You are using technology and notes on the tablet, sending it in with the order. Is there any other tips or tricks or any codes that you use?
That's the big one, just making sure that the customers are using that. And we don't even see a ton of guests that have physical cards anymore.
Sure.
No matter, the age demographic, anything like that, they're all using the app. They're showing us their phone, they have that checking code, and that's a big win for marketing. They're able to push those kind of rewards and ideas through that. The first thing you see on there is a picture of usually our seasonal items, and that's going to be a huge push for them.
So cool. How do you guys know this is working?
So a big part that you can see when you're looking at, let's say, our P&Ls is average check. When you're looking at high attachment stores, they tend to have higher average checks. But a big thing in the store that we can see working is actually seeing the guests using it. That's a huge thing. When you see them pull up with their phone, that's an instant gratification saying this is working.
And it's actually really interesting. We see people of all ages, all different groups using the app. I've seen, grandparents, pulling out the app and their kids not even knowing about it, right? It's really easy to use. It's pretty intuitive. There's not many steps involved with it. So if we train our customers to download the app and how to use it, it just makes it that much simpler on everybody.
That's incredible. We'll really go back to that idea of coaching the customer, right? And bringing a ton of value to them. That's incredible. What do you all do from a matrix standpoint? What do you review weekly to kind of see hey, we were here and now we're here? What does that look like?
So something I like to do for our store, I send out a little weekly report on 7 shifts. So all the crew members can look at our metrics, whether that be drive time, walk-up percentage, and most importantly, loyalty. We'll kind of review that number on our go meetings. They already have it in the back of their mind from the message, but I'll kind of tell them a little bit about what our numbers are right now and kind of the goal for this week, what we want to see it go to. And then we'll do some coaching on, how to promote loyalty, how to walk them through the app. But really those messages and just, giving a preface during those get organized meetings have really helped the team kind of understand how it works.
You both just blew my mind right there. I mean, look at all the amazing communication you're having to bring this top of mind with your team. So anybody listening, think about that. When their team comes in, they know what's important. They know what the goals are because they're hearing it through different formats, right? They're getting a 7 shifts message with a scorecard because what gets measured gets done, right? Then they're having a conversation on the importance and maybe some new tactics through coaching and get organized meetings. Clearly, your team knows what's important. And again, with your efforts in this, I mean, we're plus 40%. Where does that put you guys in the company?
Right now, we're in second place for the company. We're battling it out for first place with our friends over in Mansfield.
What's that going to take? When do you guys think you're going to overcome them?
Well, they're using all the same tactics as us. So
Okay.
we're kind of hand in hand with the GM over there right now. And I think it's something that's very feasible. Our next goal at our store is to hit 45.
Oh,
And
man,
so
that's
they're kind
awesome.
of up there right now. So that's where we're looking.
I mean, as long as we're consistent, we stay focused, I think, it's very feasible to hit that 45. And that's definitely our next goal in the future.
That's incredible. Great job. Well, taking this in a little bit different direction, can you maybe describe like using the loyalty system from a guest recovery or maybe a surprise and delight when you achieved using this platform?
When we go through it with the guests, a big thing for us is when we have that time available, especially in the mornings, we're able to actually guide the guests through downloading the app, using the app, how to submit missing points, all those key things. And that's a huge thing for the guests to be able to actually have somebody help them hand in hand do these items, and that's going to bring a huge thing for brand awareness in our eyes. They're going to go back and say, "I just spent 10 minutes with this general manager of Andy's, and he helped me with an app."
Yeah,
stuff like that. So,
and not only
Nice.
that, but in terms of like guest recovery, those LTO promotions, the free tea Tuesdays, the yummy lattes, dollar off, those kind of deals. If our rewards members haven't been in a long time, they go through the app and they see those deals. I mean, who doesn't want free stuff or cheaper stuff, right? They're going to come back to the store and seize on those opportunities that the app provides. And we make sure to let them know what kind of benefits they get.
Nice. That was my follow-up question. It's like, how do these guests know that, right? How do our customers know? But you guys will let them know up front when it's like, hey, pay attention to
Yeah,
all the amazing
exactly.
limited time offers. That's incredible. Hey, and as an app user myself, I love it. I mean, we all want to save money when we can on the world's greatest product. This is great. How do you all train and hold your team accountable to this type of performance? This is next level performance. Tell us about that.
Big thing that we actually do during training, once we move from Fountain over to the window area, is we have the crew member download the app, and we're able to have them look at the app and understand every aspect of it before even talking to the guests about loyalty. So you want them to have the app, then you want them to use the training applications that we have to be able to actually use those, understand it, and then move on to talking to the guest about it.
Okay. What have you all done anything like maybe a competition, or how do you track enrollments per cashier? Is that even possible? I mean, what does that look like in regards to celebrating wins? I mean, even at 40%, what are you all planning to do to celebrate that?
We're looking into ways or even hoping for ways that we can track by day or by day part our attachment percentage. Being able to do that is going to be a huge win on our part, being able to actually see what's working, what's not working even, and how we can improve from there. So day and day part tracking is our next focus.
That's a
Yeah, and we
great
always make
focus.
sure to encourage the staff. If we see that they're typing in that message on the tablet, LC, staying consistent with that, we hear them, at the window talking to the customers, explaining the app. We always make sure to encourage them like on the spot, let them know they're doing a good job and what they're doing is actually helping. And that's kind of what the reports help with every week. They can see that number grow. And then, the more it grows, the more motivated they become to, do better.
That's awesome. I mean, clearly you both are passionate about this. How is that kind of protruding through the rest of the team? Do you hear them talking about it? I mean, when you're all kind of not around, or you maybe just coming in and they might be discussing it. What does that look like?
Yeah, so I mean, whenever I'm on shifts, I'll have them asking me questions about loyalty, like what's our next goal? Where are we at right now? How can we improve it? And that's just really exciting to see the staff truly care. What I found is that once they're given direction and goals to achieve, I mean, there's nothing stopping them. And they'll be just as excited and invested as we are if we can share our successes, share our growth. I mean, we're growing as a team here. It's not just me and Derek, doing this. I mean, the whole crew has to help to grow that loyalty number.
For sure.
So just sharing that with them, I mean, it's exciting stuff.
All right. Well, if you all could pick one thing that makes the difference here with the loyalty program, I mean, what would it be to make this work at a shop?
A big thing that we do on our end is something you actually talked about in one of your previous podcasts. It's mental rehearsal. And so we have our cues for loyalty everywhere in the store. We have app cards sitting out next to drive-through. We have this posted on our position chart, push loyalty. We have it back on our get organized board where it says our current loyalty staying where we want to be. And then we have it posted on 7 shifts every single week. So it's that constant mental rehearsal that they see it, they hear it, and it's right there in front of them.
It's always there. It's top of mind. That's a great first step. Just get it everywhere, over communicate it, and the team is going to be like, wow, this is definitely important. And then celebrate those wins, and you'll have an entire culture revolving around loyalty really quick. Well, thank you both. As we're wrapping up this great call, I'd love to know some next steps for both of you all, professionally, personally. What does that look like for both of you?
Well, for me, I've been here for over 5 years now, 6 years, I guess, and I'm obviously I like the company. It's somewhere I want to be. I want to kind of put my roots down here. I'm building a bench at this store, getting people in position, and then hopefully I'm able to take a next step within the company.
For me, my next step is most definitely working towards that general manager role. I think it'd be important in like growing the team, not only growing myself, but just like Derek was saying, building a bench, growing the team members, looking at what I can do to reach that next role and how I can improve.
You guys clearly have some great cheat codes here and a great focus on people. That's going to get you where you need to go. Keep building that bench. Get somebody to take your job so you can take the next job. Let's end it on a fun note here. What's the favorite treat?
Alrighty, for me, I mean, I'm going to have to go old school. I like the butter pecan. It's simple, but it's delicious.
Nice.
I'm going Tin Roof Sunday. I bet you don't hear that one a lot.
Tin Roof. I do not hear that one. I hear butter pecan. Tin Roof, no. That's incredible. I love that. All right. Gentlemen, thank you so much for doing this and sharing this amazing information with everyone across the company. Keep winning. We'll see you next time. All right. How was that? That was amazing. They brought some amazing cheat codes revolving around loyalty, and that will take your store to the next level. Jump in. Just that one thing can change things, right? Just get that messaging across to your entire team. Build a culture of loyalty. All right. My goal is that you learned something today and that you can use it to get closer to making your dreams come true. I'm here to serve everyone, not to change anything, just support great leadership and decision-making. Keep engaging. Share the content. And that's it for today. If you need anything, email me, travis@eatandys.com. Here we go. Leadership is portion control for chaos. The right amount, at the right time, every time. Go win the day.